Why do girls say one thing and mean something completely opposite?
What a girl wants in a girl's mind.
In a girl's mind, okay. This is good.
He should know what I want and, in fact, somehow read her mind. Actions are what speak louder than words. I honestly will live by that every single day. It's a hard transition to go from friends to more.
You kind of have to have this balance. You know, you have to read her.
Just tell yourself, I am not being graded on this moment. Hello, everyone.
Welcome back.
It is the
Munch Corner. So we're happy to be back. I'm Omar, one of your hosts, and this is my beautiful wife, Savannah.
Thank you.
She has put her hair up a little bit, which looks absolutely stunning. I love that color on you, by the way.
Thank you. Well, everyone, we're diving into, have you ever been a guy?
Well, I don't know. Yes. Yes, I have.
All right. Okay.
I say I.
Have you ever been a guy that has had a question that you have been too afraid to ask a girl? This is what we're doing today.
So this is going to be open-ended. There's going to be some fun questions here. There's going to be the most terrifying question, which will be midway through. And I think you're going to get a good laugh out of it. So we're not trying to belittle anything. But
I will answer it as best as I can because I know Omar's trying to get my perspective on these questions as a goal. So I'm hoping it can help anyone out.
And if you have additional questions, that you want to ask, and we'll have in a future episode, we always welcome those here. So as we get started, we
have our coffee with us, and hopefully you have your drink as well.
Right. So this is almost like I'm having a coffee date.
Oh,
see, there we go.
It's been a while since we've had a date, but okay, we'll do it.
So we had coffee today. It was kind of a date. It changes
with
a little
kids.
With kids. The kids make it a different dynamic, but here we go. Are you ready for the fun questions?
I am ready.
Okay. Now just be honest, right? This is what we want.
Very honest.
This will be very helpful for the guys.
Okay.
So we'll start off with an easy one.
All right.
So when girls all go to the washroom, what are they really doing? What's going on over there?
Oh, yeah, when they all go as a group.
They go as a group, yeah.
I'm telling you, they chit-chat. They chit-chat about all the details.
But why don't they chit-chat like outside of the bathroom?
Because they need to be social in the bathroom too.
But they go together. It's not like they all have to go.
I know. I don't know. It's like it's a together thing or not at all.
Okay.
So it's just more fun.
Now,
why go to the bathroom and have it be so boring when you can have your girls surrounding you and you can talk gossip?
Guys don't do that, right? I mean, they don't like go to the bathroom. Of course,
but they're not girls. Right. So it's different. So I can imagine for a guy seeing a bunch of girls going to the bathroom. It's the
strangest thing. Like, why do they have to go all together?
It's just a social thing.
So let me ask you a different question.
Fix the hair, the makeup.
So outside of like coffee places, let's talk about like a restaurant. Like say a nice place. You're going out to town. You've got your friends and girls and guys and whatever it is, and it's a decent restaurant, right? We're not talking about like fast food or anything like that. Are the girls' bathrooms like decorated and created to have this little space where they can sort of hang out?
Not necessarily. No,
I know the guy's bathroom is like totally utilitarian.
No, I know
right?
like the coffee spot in particular you and I are thinking of, they have like a couch in there.
They do. Okay. All right. So they do have something.
It's not directly in front of the stalls. It's like the waiting room to go to the bathroom.
So there is like a little room.
An in-between room.
Okay.
Because and two mirrors, two large
guys
human-sized mirrors. So I don't know. I guess they cater to that. In restaurants, no.
No, I think it depends on the restaurant.
I think it's more like a coffee place where you're more social, not necessarily restaurants. Because if you're going, you're just going and then coming back because it's a restaurant, right? But in a coffee place, you're like sitting and chatting and moving around.
I would say in a higher end restaurant, you're probably going to see a much more decorated washroom that you would go to. But
I do
different.
think they are very specific with the women's bathroom. So they could cater to knowing that girls come in and sit and talk and don't just go in and out.
So for you guys out there, you may never see this part. I've never seen the inside of a women's bathroom. I mean, like that. And I don't think I ever will. So I'm not going to be like, going there. But it is a curiosity. So I'm glad you answered.
That's a good question.
It's an easy one.
I've never thought about it. But yes, there's a couch in the one.
Okay. So here we go. There's stuff going on. So number 2, This is a tricky question, and it's very confusing to the guys. So you have to help here.
All right.
Why do girls say one thing and mean something completely opposite? So, this makes it really hard because guys are expecting like kind of a direct answer, and they
I know
don't
what
get
guys
it.
are expecting,
Okay.
and they are in every right asking the correct question. What a girl wants in a girl's mind.
In a girl's mind, okay, this is good.
He should know what I want, and in fact, somehow read her mind. So I'm going to put this quite blankly.
So
a girl wants a guy to know what she wants. So if you come and ask me if I'm okay, but I'm off, and you know I'm not okay, and I say, no, I'm okay. I want you to come and ask a little bit more because it makes a girl feel like she is being watched over and cared for, and the interest in actually like finding out if she's okay is there, rather than in this day and age people ask, are you okay? How are you doing? No, I'm good, thanks. And you don't really want an answer. But in a girl's mind, it shows that there's a lot more effort if you really try and push through. It's very much, you get very direct goals. So I don't think this is every girl,
oh, no,
but
we're not trying
it's
to generalize,
very common. It's very common just for a girl to want to feel that she is, I think, being, how can I say, fawned over? That she has this person that really has an interest in her, that they'll go and ask a second and third time.
But it's not simply that part I get.
Yes.
Yeah, so it's the idea of being more into it. And guys, you got to work on that. This is not something you can just like intuitively have it. I think it takes a little practice to be observant and try to understand probably a girl
So what
better.
Aspect are you worrying about?
There's so many questions that are asked. Like for example would be, the quintessential one we see in movies so many times. It's me, it's not you. But really, that's not what she's saying, right?
It's probably a little bit more complicated than that. I don't think girls' emotions are just wide in so many different ways.
Mm-hmm.
I think at the same time, they're trying to protect their feelings, but maybe don't want to be as direct to a man.
Would they be direct to another woman?
Of course.
Right,
A woman, we tend to be a little bit more direct. I think as a woman, and please do not quote me on this, I feel like sometimes...
Too late. You know that we're here.
I feel like sometimes girls or women feel like a man just won't understand. So what's the point of even explaining? So it feels like it's more of a headache and a pain to explain it.
That hits me like right deep.
Yeah, I can see
now.
that.
Yeah, it got me. Yeah, it got me with the microphone too.
No, I think it's something that there is something to be said about the effort that you go through to really try and see into a woman's soul. And maybe she might be vague with an answer to wait to see, almost like when a girl is asked if a girl has feelings for a guy and they say no, it's like
we're going to get to some of that good stuff.
It's the hard to get thing. So. She'll say either no or play hard to get.
Okay.
But she really means another thing. And some women like to test men. And I'm not saying...
Did you say the T word?
Yes.
Test.
So, and I really feel like in most cases, it's not made negatively or in a bad light. It really is just, she's trying to protect her feelings so much.
Right.
She wants to see, is it worth me taking the chance and letting him in?
Okay.
And this is where I think the testing can come as, it depends on how much you're doing it and on what. You get some girls that really, I think, test the boundaries way too much. And that's why you kind of see but you said this, but you meant this. It's like, but I just wanted to see what you would do. You know what I'm saying?
So I think message for the guys is just be aware that a woman, a girl, because this is not generalized to women, it's actually all girls, they have a different perspective on how they interpret information.
Yes.
And so guys, you have to understand this. You cannot superimpose the way you think in terms of how they're going to think.
Yes.
So men tend to be less emotional thinkers. Women tend to be very much emotional thinkers and feelers.
Yes, and this is why they'll be more blocked off. I will give you a piece of advice, though.
That's what we want.
If you run into something and you don't necessarily get the answer that you're assuming would be the answer,
Or are you sensing there's something more?
You're sensing there's something more.
Right.
You do one thing.
Okay. What is
You
it?
look at her very sincerely and say, I am here when you'd like to talk.
Oh, that's
That is
very
it.
good.
That is it. That way you're confirming that they're being heard.
Right.
That even though they're closed off, but you are showing them, I am here when you are ready. And I bet she'll be coming to you, probably maybe even right away after that. She'll actually say, well, you know, actually this. So that's all you do. Confirm that you are there, and that's it. That's all you need to do, because she just wants to know that you're there for her.
That's a very good piece of advice. Okay. So guys, you have to start using your little bit of your intuition, your gut instinct, and take it easy and just try to be intuitive.
Patient. Be patient. She'll come to you.
All right. Here's another good one. Do girls feel jealous of their best friends?
Jealousy is a tough one. I know
it is a tough one.
It's a very strong emotion. It's so easy to get jealous, not because you don't want the best for your friend or best for whoever you're getting jealous of. It feels like such a competitive field out there. And I know a woman should never be against a woman, but we are grown up comparing ourselves to other women.
So why would you be competitive? And then how does a woman let that go? Because obviously jealousy in any circumstance is not really a great thing.
I think it's very important to recheck with yourself that I have no reason to feel insecure or jealous about my friend right now, because she's absolutely stunning. This is an absolutely great guy, and I am just as great and stunning, and I will find my guy or my place, because a lot of times it's about a guy. It's relating to a guy.
I would agree.
But jealousy in general comes from feeling like you are competing with someone or someone is overshadowing you, which can really bring out the worst in you. I think the best that you can honestly do is just reassure yourself that, well, you're just as amazing as your friend, and you guys are going to have so many differences that set you apart. Why compare yourself at all?
Yeah, and I would agree.
You are your own person.
There's no two people that are alike, you know, and I don't think we would see literally any two girls, any two women would be alike. Certainly not two men are alike. And I think you have to celebrate you.
Of course. And I mean, it's like you said, women tend to be more emotional, especially in their reaction to things. So it's very, very common for myself or any woman in general to get jealous. But a very easy way just to dial down the jealousy you might be feeling is like just reassurance.
Okay. So I think this is good. I love this because it certainly helps, I think, get a little perspective on it. All right. So here's another one. This is funny. And guys will laugh at this one, and girls will still be puzzled by it, and it's still going to happen no matter what. I'm
curious.
Why do girls with a full wardrobe of clothes say they have nothing to wear when they're going out?
Yes.
So I do tease Savannah about that because, you know, sometimes we're going to go out and do something.
He will do this.
So
He'll
I'm looking at my closet and saying, I have nothing to wear.
And it's not like I go and say that. So I don't know. He messes with me.
Just a little.
Because you have a destination in mind of what you're going to be doing or activity. Mm-hmm. And for some reason in your mind, in that very moment, you cannot figure out what would be the most perfect outfit for that occasion. You know, sometimes when you're like getting ready and planning for something, you sometimes have like something in mind, whether it's a tool or whether it's something you want to wear in the same aspect of things.
Right.
In that very moment, nothing comes to mind of what would be the most perfect outfit I can wear to this date or to go ice skating and things like that. Mm-hmm. It's not that she doesn't have anything to wear. It's really just like, how the hell am I going to put this outfit together? In some cases, they really feel like they don't have the perfect outfit, so they'll say, I've got nothing to wear. It really is just because you have this expectation of what is perfect.
And is it because
it's definitely with appearance too?
So is it really, would you say, because
I don't know what to wear.
No, I get that
Rather,
part. But
yes.
is it the projection of the event or the experience, or
Definitely.
so?
There's a pressure. So it's like, I don't have anything to wear. It's because you want to perform and look your very best for that event or whatever you're doing, that you have this overexerted reaction to like, you have a lot to wear. You're going to be fine. Just pick something out.
Yeah, and for guys, it's like a t-shirt and a pair of jeans goes everywhere, right?
Guys don't think twice about it unless you're like a very particular man, and you
and there are those out there.
You do get those,
but I think the average guy doesn't quite consider it as much.
So I think there's the emotion tied to the event or what you're getting dressed for is really the driver of what you're saying.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that's a good one too. So this is going to be more complicated. Here's the next one. Why do girls lie about their male best friends?
Lie as in, what do you mean? Having male best friends or having feelings for a male best friend?
Potentially having feelings, but I think the reason the question's asked the way it is because let's say a guy and a girl get together and they start dating each other, but she has some guy friends that she's very close to.
Oh, yeah, this is complicated.
This is why it's complicated, yes.
There are some people that believe that you should not have friends that's the opposite sex.
Yes.
Particularly just because some say it's impossible to have a friend of the opposite sex and not have feelings for them.
Do you think that's true?
I do not.
Okay.
Just because it really depends on your chemistry with the person. Chemistry can be often confused with love.
Yes,
so
that's true.
You can have a really good chemistry with someone and be really good friends. And some people might say, oh, I think I'm in love with him. I think I'm in love with her. And then complicate it. So that's why some say I don't want to complicate the relationship or lose the friendship. It's such a soft topic or sore topic just because it is so easy to say you're in love with someone when they're showing so much love and concern for you in a non-partner way, more in a friendship type of way, just because you feel like you're being heard from your best friend. You tell your best friend everything.
Right.
And this is where you can confuse that with, oh, they understand me. And it's no different to understand that if you have a best friend, whether it's a male or a female, the opposite sex of you, that you go to them with everything underneath the sun that you've gone through, and they naturally understand you, and you can develop feelings for them if you naturally, some best friends are actually really best friends, just because I believe you should marry your best friend. And this is why it's a very complicated topic.
Yeah, that's a very different aspect of the whole thing.
It is. So the reason why some people feel like they won't tell their partner about my other guy friends, just because they feel like it would make them feel like they somehow have something to worry about, or it's an unwarranted competition. It's no different to a girl not liking a guy having a other girlfriend.
A friend who happens to be a girl.
Yes. Because again, it is so easy to compare yourself. And I think a guy, very similar in a girl's aspect, will try to do a comparison. But if you do have friends of the opposite sex and you want to really just tell your boyfriend or girlfriend that there really isn't anything going on, have your friend around you and your boyfriend, or vice versa.
I think that's
to show, do not say, why are you being so ridiculous? It's just my friend. And then you go and meet with them in private. Then if what they do not see, they're going to have this big story in their mind. They're going to concoct this story, which you really don't need to worry about. Be around them. Show them that there's nothing to worry about. But I know there's a lot of people that say you just can't be friends with the opposite sex. I don't believe it, just because I recall having really good male friends in school that there was really nothing going on. And again, you can confuse feelings of concern and a very strong, profound, just like friendship love with someone with I'm in love with you. So this is why just test the waters. When you're vulnerable, especially because you're always vulnerable with your very best friend, if it's a male or female, you can feel like that's something else. where it really could just be you're vulnerable with them just because you're very close with them, not that you're in love with them.
So I think one of the issues that guys face with this in general is the fact that there's a pre-existing friendship, right? So they're walking into a brand new relationship that's romantic.
Yes.
And there's another guy that's been there for a lot longer. That's the friend, right?
I see it.
So I could see where they're trying to figure out how do I fit
How do
into
they
this?
fit in?
But I think your advice is really well taken.
As a girlfriend, you should have a very fine boundary between boyfriend and friend. If you do have a boyfriend that's concerned about your male friend, you need to make it very clear. And this is where you don't pick your friend over your partner or your partner over your friend. I feel like there can be a very good harmony between the two, is that you let them both understand that they are so incredibly important in your life and that you don't want to lose either of them, but he is just your friend or he is your boyfriend, and that there's going to be no confusion between the two. So you as a girlfriend, that is your responsibility to make that known to them, not yourself, to them, so that there's no confusion.
What would you say if the guy is feeling that way about his new girlfriend, with the other male friends? What do you think the girl should do? I mean, I understand what you're saying.
What do I think the girl should do or the guy should do?
No. It's the guy's kind of like wondering where he fits into this. I mean, but he could be jealous. I could see that too.
I think no different to what I said before.
But what would you think from an action point of view the girl should do?
Like I said, bring your boyfriend and your friend together on any event or going out. So it's no different to you go on private dates with your boyfriend, and you might want to hang with your friends separately.
Right.
If you guys have an occasion like New Year's, or you guys are going to go ice skating, watch a movie, make it a group thing.
Yeah, okay.
Just show, and you don't have to just have it as the friend and the boyfriend. You don't want to be a third wheel. Have your friend.
No, that's awkward also.
No, I know. Have your friend, bring a friend, or make it a big group thing. And the best thing, actions are what speak louder than words. And I honestly will live by that every single day, because it's very easy to say something, but showing it through your actions is what solidifies it.
Okay.
So I think that's probably the best thing you could do.
All right. So this is a tough one, because I think at a very early age that potential jealousy can come out.
Mm-hmm.
And you wonder, where do you stand with somebody that you have feelings for?
If someone gives you no reason to be jealous, then it should be okay. But if you have a reason, then sorry.
So, and there is, just for the guys out there, whether you want to vocalize it or not, there's a sense of vulnerability that you're going to have in a brand new relationship. So you're looking for a way to make sure that you are where you think you are and your feelings are there and it's reciprocated. I think that's probably the biggest thing. All right. So this is another funny one, just to change it up a little bit. Why do girls steal a guy's food? So this is like you're in a restaurant and she's like picking food off your plate. And you're thinking, and this is the classic thing where guys will look and say, well, what can I get you? Oh, I'm not really hungry. I'm not going to eat anything.
Yeah.
Or I'm just going to have a little something. But then afterwards, all the fries that are sitting with this hamburger are gone because she's eating them. So why does a girl take the food off a guy's plate?
So I've got two answers to that.
Okay.
First, I'll go with the one that I'd probably resonate with. Is that in a relationship with the girl, she wants to feel like what his is mine and what's mine is his. So this is if you want to look very deep into the situation. It's just a fry, okay? It's just a fry. But in her mind and
the
mine,
meaning
not
of the fry is
that
very
is
Zen-like.
A very important fry. Okay.
Does it have Zen qualities as a fry?
Magical properties, what can I say? So if you want to look at it from a really different perspective, it could be a bigger picture of what is he going to do when I take the fry? Is he going to give me the fry? Is he going to give me another fry after that fry? Or it's just the fries, the
Fry
example.
Chronicles.
Yes. Or the other answer, which is very generic, is... gosh, I just want the damn fry. Maybe I didn't order enough, or I changed my mind is a very easy one.
Okay, I can see that.
So it's like, yeah, maybe I didn't order enough. So you know what? It's right there. So I'm just going to pick it off your plate. Or, you know what? I did say I didn't want it before, but that looks really good. And it always tastes better off of someone else's plate.
Okay, so my advice to the guys, knowing that this is a high likelihood of happening for all the reasons that Savannah's talked about, this is what you do. You order extra fries if you're going to feel extra hungry.
Yeah, so all you do is...
You don't have to ask her if she wants fries.
You
order the fries.
The initial plate of fries you had, share that one. And then when it's done and she realized she really wanted fries, say, okay, would you like to order another one?
No. The brownie points come if he just orders the extra fries in anticipation.
Okay, if you want
without
brownie
even
points,
flagging
great.
it, because the minute she said, can I order some for you? It's like, oh, no, I don't want it.
If you know your goal, you know your goal. Omar does this with sushi. So after we've had sushi, he wants the green tea ice cream.
Yeah,
I don't necessarily want it, but if it's there on the table, I'll just eat it. And he will tell me, you want a green tea ice cream? It's like, whatever, let's just go. So if you know your goal, you know your goal.
I think this is the fun part. All right, so this is going to be the hardest question that a guy is going to feel afraid to ask a girl. And it's the simplest and the shortest question.
Okay.
What's wrong?
It's too big of a story to explain. That I know. It's like, what's wrong is you can ask it 1,000 times in a day and never really get an answer.
And it opens up this Pandora's box that I think guys are afraid of. So how do you handle that? What's your advice to the guys?
I'll tell you, as a woman that's gone through different stages of life, dealing with different struggles, emotions can feel so incredibly raw and difficult to explain. And to this day, I've still been finding ways I know how I feel, but how the hell do I explain it? It's so hard. And at the same time, you're trying to find a way to explain the situation or how you feel when you don't even understand it yourself. And this is why I know it can make it extra complicated for a man.
Yes, it does.
Trying to be there for their significant other. And please, if you're watching this as a man, don't take it to heart.
That's a hard
you might
one.
have someone that's being very deceptive, and this is a completely different story. I'm talking about someone that's really sincere in their feelings, and you just want an answer. What is wrong? Mm-hmm. She's trying. And it goes back to the advice that I gave before. If she cannot tell you in that moment of what's wrong, or why she's feeling the way she's feeling, or why are you so upset? Why are you lashing out at me because it's that time of the month in particular? And it's not always surrounding that time of the month. Please, that is so taboo. It's this wrong thing. We have a lot of hormones, and it's not necessarily around our cycle, but just the clarifying to them that I'm here when you want to talk. Or add to that is, I know you might not want to talk right now, and I can see you're still processing whatever you're going through.
Okay. I'm going to give you a little perspective here as to why this is such a frightening question.
Okay.
So you have to also understand from a male's point of view why they ask that question. So they see their girl in some form of distress. She's quiet. She's crying. I mean, it could be a lot of different things, but it's emotion. Mm-hmm. And he doesn't really know what to really do with that. I mean, because he doesn't process things the same way. Mm-hmm. And so by asking that question, there is this tendency that guys just intrinsically want to fix something. Okay, so you see what I mean? And so when they ask that question, and let's say her response was, let's say she had whatever it was, a bad day or something that happened, and she's quiet, and then she bursts out crying.
He's talking about me.
No. But it's, I mean, and it does happen, I think, with a lot of women. I'm not going to say generalize too much, and so the response is, she bursts out crying. And he's sitting there thinking, how do I fix this? How do I contain this? What do I do?
Fix it.
Okay. So
do not fix it. I know you want to be there. You want to stop the crying. You want it to be in a happy mood. You want to switch things up. Okay, let's do something to make you happy. Don't do that.
Okay, so
as a woman,
do you hear how adamant she is here? So
I'm saying, as a girl, you need to process the emotion, feel the emotion, work through it, and then you can see the light at the end of the tunnel. Because if you have someone that's constantly wants to fix, emotions cannot be put together like Lego pieces. You have to feel it, you have to write it out, and just I know when guys ask what's wrong, and she bursts out crying and she's losing it, just say, well, I'm here for you. What do you think would help you? Not fix it. What can I do to help you would be a great thing to say. And not like, what can I do to fix it? It's like, no.
No, I don't think they'll use those words, but I think they'll be thinking about it.
I know.
In
All
that
you can
more
do
typical
is
male way of thinking.
this is not the time to do this problem-solving puzzle of how to fix it. Just be in the emotion with her. If she sees that you are so present and helping her through what she's feeling, there's such a soul connection and a connection with your partner that is happening, because the oxytocin released when you feel like you are being taken care of in a very difficult time is so high. Now, yes, you're sad.
But that has a lot of depth to it. So what you're saying is something that I think all men or guys need to understand. You're going to be there for her.
In a very difficult time.
In a very difficult time, whatever that might be. And it may not seem difficult to you as a man, but she's experiencing that difficulty and you cannot process it the same way that you're doing.
That is going to mean more to her than a date that is playful.
Okay.
That is going to mean more to her than a happy Valentine's date where you guys are laughing. Being with her in those difficult and hard times is the reassurance she's going to get that, oh man, it doesn't matter what I go through, this person's going to stick with me.
So this is something that
gave me goosebumps.
Yeah, this is good. Yeah. This is what we want. Mm-hmm. So for the guys out there, you may not know quite what to do with the emotion, but you don't have to do something with the emotion. So the idea is to be present and allow her to have the emotion. Now that may seem strange and foreign and uncomfortable, but I think if you can take that to heart and express yourself to her in a way that you are present, you're going to see some amazing connections develop. So
you guys are going to be closer than ever.
I think that's a beautiful thing. So the end result is, if you look at it ahead and say, if we can go through this particular experience or others that are similar to it, then your connection is going to even be brighter, stronger, and even deeper.
Definitely.
Okay. All right. So now we're going to delve into some of the really juicy questions.
Okay.
All right. So how does a guy get a girl to notice him? What does a guy need to do? So
a guy that has a crush on a girl.
Well, let's say that's a good way to do it, because I think oftentimes, let's say a guy would notice a girl and he wants her to notice him. And so how does that happen? And I'm going to preface it with this, that the fear of rejection for a guy is a very primal fear.
Mm-hmm.
So the idea that I'm drawn to a girl, really, really like her, I really want to go out with her, I'd like to get to know her. I mean, it could be some things like I really want to kiss her. There's so many things that come into mind, but the biggest fear is like,
how does she notice me?
How does she notice me? And then what if she doesn't notice me? Or what if she notices me, but not in a good way? So they want to be noticed as somebody that is equally of interest on their side.
Okay. And I'm gonna give an answer, but I understand that I'll never understand the male's perspective of the situation.
Understandable.
So if I'm looking at it in a way, if I'm an outsider watching a situation.
Okay.
So I'm the third person. I'm not in the situation, and there's a girl and a guy, and there's a clear interest that this guy has in this girl. For me, especially receiving that, so if I was the girl in that situation, to have a moment that is so memorable that you think about, like even the next day and after that, you want a guy just to be genuine in who he is. If you have someone coming up to you and they're like trying to be like macho man or someone that they're not and putting on an act, it can be very off-putting. At the same time, I know that a guy will have a hard time trying to express that, can I please have your number? Or
but I mean, it is one of the biggest things.
I know.
If you're walking up to somebody that
is tough.
That you don't know that way. I mean, and then how do you how do you get noticed by that person? I'm not talking about necessarily walking up to a total stranger, right?
No, I know. So if you really want to get a girl's attention, the biggest thing, and we might be busy in that moment, so talking to a friend, we might just be out on our own, getting our cup of coffee, and you just want to be noticed. I think it's like there is something to be said about how memorable is he making that moment? Is he just simply walking up to her and saying, "Hey, can I have your number?" That's not memorable. I'm not going to give a total stranger my number and I know nothing about you. So
how do you make that memorable?
So you make it memorable by walking up to her. She had just ordered her chai latte.
Okay.
And you're going to walk up to her and say, "You know what? Have you ever tried that with pumpkin? It's really good."
Okay.
Have a connection with her in some form. Don't just say something completely random that's out of context. If you have nothing to go on, and this is just a random person standing there,
right?
As a guy, I know it can be very hard. Read her. What is she doing? What is she saying? What is she looking at? Try find something. Try pick at her brain from a distance.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think? Or is she, and this is where this can be taken wrong, like if say now she's on her phone looking at something that she's interested in, and you say something about what she's looking at, it could come off as stalkerish if you're seeing what's on her phone. I think this is why I want to be very careful with this advice.
Right, okay.
So don't put it as stalkerish way, but try in as much of an innocent way as possible to try be sweet in your intentions. And this is really hard because I know for a guy it's like really, really tough. And just tell yourself, I am not being graded on this moment. I'm not going to be judged whether she says something that in somehow is a rejection, because this doesn't define me.
That's a tough one because
I know this is why I'm saying I can only say so much.
And this is especially harder for younger men who haven't really seen a little bit of life, and it certainly is very much with boys. But I'm not going to tell you that men who have been around a little bit won't also feel like tongue-tied around the girl they want to walk up to.
What we're not mentioning is in a world of social media, there is the disconnect from being able to interact more in person. There's so many dating apps. People do things through text, through phone calls.
Do you remember that the time we went to? This is a little shared experience. I was telling Savannah. So we went to Boot Barn. So it was really we were getting some things for our little guy. And the person who was helping us was a salesperson over there. And she was going and finding things like a little hat for him and things like that. And then I watched this guy walk up to her. And he was, I don't know how he could be more awkward. So I would probably place him maybe in his early 20s. Mm-hmm. You could see he was kind of unkept, wasn't really no pride in appearance necessarily, or he was just wearing comfortable clothes. And he walked up to her. He really had a very hard time making eye contact. And
he was nervous.
He was beyond nervous.
Very nervous.
And then he basically said, "You're beautiful." He sort of stops, this awkward pause, and then he says, "Do you have a boyfriend?"
Okay.
And then after that, he blurts out, "Could I get your number?" And then she looked at him and basically said, "I already have a boyfriend." And then she just went on, right? Mm-hmm. And then he just sort of walked away, head down. And it was like you're observing life in a way, right?
Yes.
And I felt
you're the fly on the wall.
I was a fly on the wall because literally she was helping us get something for Ryland. But I just found it, it was just disheartening because he doesn't understand.
He can see that as a very big defeat. I think in that moment, he feels like it's a judge of his character. And she just put him down. And I can honestly say, whether she has a boyfriend or not, that was her way of trying to let him down easy because she really wasn't interested. A lot of people will judge a person by their appearance as well. Maybe she just didn't find him attractive.
Yeah, that's very
And
true.
it was like, wow, he really is awkward. And it's a lot of pressure for a guy. And I'm as sincere as what a girl can be in that situation, just because I think I have a little bit different perspective on life. And I know that it is so tough out there for a guy to show an interest without being judged. Like, oh, he's weird. Or wow, he was so nervous. And then you go tell your girlfriends about it.
Yeah, and I think that's a hard part too. So I mean, like approaching a single girl, like she's getting a cup of coffee kind of a thing versus a group of girls.
Yes, but it ties down to the exact same thing, is men put a lot of pressure on themselves that for some reason, this very moment in time is what is defining them as a person or a man in general. If you feel like, well, I don't really feel like a man if she's not not showing an interest or reciprocating the exchange of what's going on, that brush it off. I know it sounds terrible, but that is all you can do, because she's not thinking about that after this. No, she's going about her day like nothing even happened. And the last thing you should be doing is weighing yourself down because maybe she didn't treat you right in that moment. She's a complete stranger. You're probably never going to see her again, or you're going to see her again.
And you're either going to go to school with.
You're either going to be fawning over her, thinking about her. But you know what? Remind yourself is my worth is a hell of a lot more than this. And the right person, and it's very...
This is back to our old soul's journey here.
Again, but it's a very cliche thing to say. The right person is going to embrace you, not literally. I'm just saying from a perspective.
Well, that's a good visual that just got added. Yeah.
No. Embrace you in the way that they really show an interest in your personality and you as a person.
Yes.
And they will put in time. If someone does not put in time for you, they are not interested. And don't tell yourself otherwise. If someone doesn't have time for you, they have no interest. You will make time. If you are like, your calendar is filled with endless things that you need to do, if you are really interested in that person, you are going to find a way.
So one more thing I will add to guys, there is no way other than experience to really go through some of these life lessons, right? I mean, rejection is a huge one. No one is born absolutely confident to do something.
Yeah, and
it is a developed skill, and it's one that needs time and attention. And I think if you were able to focus on that and understand that a rejection is a rejection, that was not the right fit for you with this individual, this girl that you were interested in. It is. I mean,
and don't in any way say this girl is out of my league, or in a higher league or lower league, because there is no league. Okay,
no, I think that's
everyone has different taste. Everyone finds a different look attractive. This has nothing to do with out of my league, this or that. She's in a different career field. I mean, you name it. She's doing like a different, she's mastering in something else, at university and things like that. There is no league. I find that so annoying to hear, just because the only league that's happening is your soul's journey and whether you're fit for that person or not. This has nothing to do with your career field or appearance.
Yeah, and I think that's a big piece of people understanding who they are individually to get there. All right, so we're going to jump into another aspect, which you've kind of talked about a little bit, but we're going to touch on it specifically. Do girls admire a guy after he chooses to be vulnerable with them?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, and it ties back to best friends can sometimes overcomplicate the relationship.
Okay.
If a guy shows emotion, which again, guys can think, it's not good to show emotion or have a hard time expressing emotion.
It is, yes.
There's almost like this guy, if he expresses an emotion or what he's feeling, it's almost like you've opened the secret door.
Okay.
And you've let her in to your heart. And now he feels like he can talk to me now. Now I can talk back.
So there Can I qualify that and you tell me whether I'm right?
Okay.
I think that if a man is able to be vulnerable with the girl that he wants to be with, I think that is basically needs to be handled on a situational basis. And the reason I say it that way is there's a big difference between a guy just being all over the place with his emotions and sharing that. But if, for example, and life will do this to you guys, I mean, it's like everybody, you're going to have moments that are really not great. I mean, it's a bad day, car accident, whatever it might be, flat tire. And you're going to say, yeah, I just needed this to work. And I think it's in those moments that the vulnerability is appreciated rather than doing an emotional kind of
like
any
a
day.
dump. Timing is everything.
Timing is everything.
So I do agree. If you come out as an emotional wreck,
Yes.
is basically the term, she's gonna think like, what the hell is going on? So time and place, very important. And if she as well has let you know that she's open to hearing you, so that getting that from her is, I think, a very big clue that you need to be looking for. And this is, again, where you're seeing if this person really has an interest in you or your boyfriend or your girlfriend. You need to see an opening to receive. And if you don't get an opening, you're probably not going to get a good response. So if a guy is vulnerable with a girl, it's almost like you're both looking at each other and saying, here's my key.
Right.
I'll take your key. Let's open it up and let's be each other's safe haven. Because if there is no exchange from both sides, it feels unsafe because you've just given each other a key and you guys only have that key. Sorry, I'm speaking in very metaphorical terms here.
It's okay.
But yeah, I think that's really important that you get a exchange for those emotions that you want to express.
Yeah, and I think that openness, and it's maybe a little harder for guys to do that, but I think you're right. That's going to be very helpful. All right, here's our next one. This is like a classic question, so you're going to see this almost every single time.
Okay.
What's the best way for a guy to get out of the friend zone?
I don't like that question. Just because.
But it is now you kind of touched on it a little bit. It's the idea that you've been a friend.
Now you want to be more than a friend.
You want to be more than a friend.
And how do you tell her?
And then how do you tell her and how does she
perceive that and you don't feel rejected? So I can see how it ties a lot of questions together.
A lot of the questions, yes. So without using the label, it's that idea.
There is no hack to get out of the friend zone just because.
Gosh, I thought there was going to be something.
If she doesn't feel the same way, she doesn't feel the same way.
Okay.
So this is where if you really want to get out of the friend zone because you have more feelings for her, has she given you any reason that she's got the same feelings for you? Well, in that aspect, then you should. It's an open conversation you need to be having with her.
I will tell you from a guy's point of view, this is not something guys are good at figuring out. And so
it's a hard transition to go from friends to more.
And I would agree with you. It is hard to do that. But I will also say that there's an emotional intelligence that a man can develop. Not going to happen overnight. And if you're able to get yourself in that place, you're going to be able to read her. And you're going to be able to read whether or not there is a mutual interest.
That's why I said look for cues.
Well, but it's nice to say that, but I can tell you just if you were, depending on where you are in your life, how do you figure out those cues? What are those cues?
And if you don't get cues, fish.
Okay.
Throw out a reel and see if you get a catch. So if you have a normal conversation with your girl best friend about the usual gossip or whatever it is you're talking about, or you're doing your usual activities that you do together, throw out something unusual that you do not normally throw out.
Okay.
Like, say now you guys would normally gossip about a certain topic, but not necessarily have, I want to say, an intimate exchange of how they feel.
Okay.
So show more of an interest than you would before. So, but like not a friend interest, and this is so tough to explain, but without making them feel uncomfortable too. So you can overdo it, but almost like telling them, I really, really, and don't sound creepy. I really
don't sound creepy. That's a very good way.
Practice this if you need to, but don't overdo it.
But don't overdo it, yes.
I really, really care about how you feel. And it really, it does sit on my mind. And if you're having a hard day.
Yeah. And look,
and it can come across as creepy.
No, but even, I don't think, let's take the creepiness out of this.
Yes.
I could see, and this is the tough part about this question, is I could see the girl responding back to her best friend, not potential future boyfriend, and saying very much, yeah, no, I'm really glad that you're here with me. It's like being totally oblivious to it. I know.
And this is why the fishing can be really hard.
Yes.
And you need to be able to find the right moments where fishing is going to be the right thing.
And
sometimes you just need to say it.
So, and if you say
don't make your life a living hell. Sometimes if the person is so oblivious to what you're trying to do, you need to say it.
So then I would have to say, guys, with the deep felt feeling of potential rejection, you will be going out on a limb you're not going to go back on. This is going to be it. So
this might make or break the relationship, unfortunately. And you need to make peace with that before.
Yes. And I think that's the important part, is understanding that risk there.
If you and your friend cannot move past this and just leave it in the past, and you say, oh, okay, well, that was a loose shot or a miss of a shot, and you guys can agree going forward, great.
And
if not, then you guys both part ways, but you have to know that prior.
I think so too. I will have to tell you that I think if you're willing to do it as a man or as a guy, there's a risk and reward part. And sometimes the higher the risk,
you might gain it all.
You might gain it all.
Or you might lose it all.
You might lose it all. So is this relationship worth that risk?
That risk. Yeah.
And if the answer is no, I'm not interested, and then all of a sudden they see you differently, you're not going to be able to control the outcome. So don't expect that you're going to control the outcome. And neither one of you are going to really feel great about it, and you're still going to be thinking about the friendship.
Because feelings are going to be hurt either which way.
Right. And then any which way, you're going to have to take the wisdom of life and take it forward. There's nothing else you can do.
No.
Okay. So we have 2 more questions.
Okay.
And then that's going to get us to, I think, the best advice we can give for this first time of doing it. Do girls honestly like nice guys?
Oh, like this thing about bad guys are attractive.
Yes.
Like, do you really
bad
like
boys,
a nice guy?
Right? It's the concept of a bad boy versus a nice guy.
To me, yes, I really like a nice guy. Because there's safety with a nice guy.
But let me throw this in here. The reason this is such a pivotal an either or is because the nice guy could be sitting just as the friend versus the nice guy is like the person you're attracted to.
Yes.
And so I think this is why you look and say, well, do girls really like
And this is
nice guys?
Why.
In that way, of course.
If you're a nice guy and you just want to be a friend, you're going to be a nice guy and just be a friend. But if you're the nice guy and you want to be more than the friend, you need to show that. Don't just be nice. It's like reading a book and I'm supposed to get the answers without you giving me the hints. I need hints. You need to tell me, or your actions, or friends do friend things. And this is why everyone can see a friendly act as something different, because how can I say, I almost want to use like the thermometer, not the thermometer, the gauge on the car.
Yeah, okay.
The speedometer. Everyone can see that thing differently. As well,
you mean like if I'm driving 80 and then maybe I feel like I'm doing 65?
Well, yeah. Everyone can have a different gauge for what friends are and what is more than friends. And this is where you need to decipher from the person you're interested in, what do they see as what's friendly and what's more than being a friend? And then you can start kind of trying to figure out, yes, I know she sees me as a nice guy, but I want you to see me more than just a nice guy.
Mhm.
Start doing acts like maybe give her a little card, or maybe write a funny note and hand it to her and sneak it in her pocket with your name on it. I mean, do things like that, which overwrites just nice. Because you can just like have a nice compliment, and she's like, "Oh, well, thank you." It's like, your hair looks beautiful today. You did something different. Well, thank you. Some people will just take that as it's simply a nice compliment from the guy. But if you want to really come across as trying to give the message that you want to be more than just this nice guy that's being friendly, you have to in turn do it with actions.
So I think one of the challenges that men have in general with this nice part, and again, I'm going to speak to all ages here because I don't think it's centric to any particular age group for a man or a young man. When they meet somebody that they like, they want to please them.
Mm-hmm.
And so it becomes less about who they are and more about what can I do to
make her happy.
To make her happy. And I would have to challenge and say for men, do not sacrifice who you are
for that. I 100% agree.
And that's a tough one because you're instantly wanting to sort of
do anything in that moment.
And do anything in that moment for that other person because you have an interest in them.
Put it this way, if you really have a sincere interest in someone, you cannot put on an act forever or maintain these theatrical acts or services or gifts. And you need to understand that if you're walking in this as you are in the beginning, you need to walk like that all the way. You can't just expect, I'm going to do this big thing now, and then that will win. A lot of people do this. That will win me into her good graces, and she'll be interested. But how do I maintain that? And this is where you have to be who you are.
I think it's more than that.
Don't lose yourself while trying to catch someone else.
And I'll give a simple illustration. This is, again, for the guys. And you'll see the range that I'm talking about. And they're meant to be extremes so that you can kind of see it. So this idea of the note, I like that. So that's a great, or a little card or something like that. So let's assume, and I'll give you the range. Guy's interested in this girl. He drops her a note, whatever it is, card or just a small note. And it just says, hey, you look great today. And leave it at that. If that happens every day, it starts feeling like a stalker.
Yes.
If it happens infrequently, but it's tied to something specific, like that particular day she was wearing a beautiful dress, whatever it might be, then there is this I've noticed you part. Mm-hmm. And I think with young men in particular, and even other, older men, it's you kind of have to have this balance. You have to read her, and you can't be with her all the time. You have to have presence that she's on your mind and she knows that you're on your mind, mm-hmm. without having to be, I need to be with you every moment of the day.
There's a time that you can overdo it. And again, this is where you need to find, like you said, a balance. Mm-hmm. It's no different to how would you receive that if it was overdone?
And it's the idea, I think, of wanted or unwanted attention, right? I mean, so this is where you have to learn to start reading things. I would really honestly suggest, as you're going through this, that you're able to, if you have a really good friend, I mean, somebody who you like, call it your soul brother if you want to, somebody like that's that close. Or, I mean, it doesn't have to actually be a guy. It could be obviously a really great girlfriend that you have. And then we would turn around and say, okay, so let's see what do you think? Am I overdoing it?
Yeah, so confide in someone. If you trust someone and you really want to get an outside perspective, just because you're not 100% sure and you really just want to know, get someone who you trust's input.
Okay, so our final question.
Okay.
So this is kind of a fun one, so we're going to end on a funny note. So the question really comes down to, we hear as guys lots of things that girls say. They have a long list of places that do not approach me. Like, I don't want to be approached at the gym. I don't want to be approached this way. And I don't want to be approached in the grocery store, whatever it might be. So the big question for the guys is like, where are the places I can walk up to you and you're actually going to be open to having somebody come up and say, hey, I really find you attractive. Can I get to know you?
Okay.
So where are those places?
I will tell you from my perspective, if I'm going to the gym, I want to do one thing.
Okay.
I want to gym. I don't want to be social if you're this type of person. But you're going there to do a certain activity and you only have a certain amount of time. So if you have someone coming to you, and I know they have good intentions because they're trying to show interest, but you're trying to do something and, hey, the clock is ticking. Oh, gosh, I don't have much to say about that.
And I understand that, but this is where we have...
And this is where a girl can snap. It's like, just leave me alone.
Right, and I get that. And so there's this long laundry list that I think men have heard over and over again, the gym being one of them.
Yes.
They want to know, where is the right place? Because we hear a lot about that's not a good place. That's not a good place. Don't come approach me here. So
okay.
where is this
So you're
place?
going to have a stuck-up girl that will just say, who are you to approach me? And you cannot fix that. Okay.
No,
These are girls that
right.
really don't want to be bothered. And this is not the type of person I'm talking about.
Right.
The person I'm talking about is don't take up her time. So don't stand there babbling and taking up her time, and she wants to just get her groceries, or she's got her child, and this is like an older guy trying to pick up a mom with a child, and the child's time is important.
Completely different.
Okay, but we're being very general over here.
But would you, for example, is it in a restaurant? Is it when she's with her other friends?
There is no perfect time, but just don't drag it out. Just put your intentions like on the face. Just show it. And don't take up all of her time, because at that point she feels like you're wasting my time. But just be outright. That's all I can say, because you don't know what emotion you're catching her in or what type of day she's had.
Point. Yes.
So again, don't take it to heart as a guy, but understand that you have absolutely no idea what she's thinking in that moment, or what she's gone through, or she just came off of a very bad phone call, or she just had a family member pass away. These are things that if you keep shooting the arrow and you keep missing, take the hint. Stop. But if she just really had a bad day, don't say, well, you had a bad day last time. Can I try again? Don't get at it like that. I understand that we're all reacting to everything around us, and don't take it personally as a guy.
Would you say that any place could be a good place?
I think so.
Okay.
Shoot your shot and see what happens, but don't take it personally.
All right. So with that, the idea is we could spend hours on this topic.
We could. We'll do it again.
And we will do something again. But
I will be asking Omar for the woman's perspective.
And I think we're going to be great there. So before we leave you for the day, just remember, we would love for you to subscribe and also hit the like button on this. It helps.
Tell us what else you'd like to see, and check out the other content.
And if there is questions, or there are questions, always ask. We're here as one giant community helping each other.
All right. Munch Corner community. We'll see you next time.
Until next time.
Bye.